Pastor Roy Gerhardt from Galloway United Methodist Church in Franklin, Pennsylvania, sharing a few words of encouragement to help us follow after Jesus. Well, this Sunday was Father's Day, and yesterday we were just sharing about the way in which God gives us this amazing gift of knowing Him as our Father. Having a dad in our life is an incredible gift that helps us to know God and helps us to just experience His love in a certain way that is unique and that helps us to really get a full picture. It's not complete without moms and other people in our lives as well. I'm not trying to discount that, but there's something that each one of us uniquely experiences through the love of other people in our lives, and our dads are definitely a unique gift. This is Janice's dad, and we lost him over 20 years ago, and absolutely loved Janice's dad, Donald Bash. What a great guy. Worked hard out on the coal mines, driving a bulldozer. Before he retired, he was driving the biggest bulldozer that was then in production. It was as big as a house. I mean, it was amazing to see him on that machine. But he was a man who hunted, and I loved hunting with him because my dad didn't hunt. My dad taught me to shoot and do a lot of other things in my life, but I loved it that I could go hunting with my wife's dad. And he was a man who, even when he got angry, he didn't explode. I remember him saying, "Oh, shoot." And that seemed like it was just about as riled up as he would get. My dad, this is him, and my dad, he could get wound up. He was kind of a passionate guy, and whenever things got to him, he sometimes blew up. I never remember him ever yelling at me or demeaning me in any way, but boy, my dad in some moments could yell and carry on about things that were not working out right. I loved those contrasts in those men. It had a great influence on my life to see all of those different dimensions. And you know, with both of them, there were imperfections. There were things that were incomplete in each of them. It's probably why I really loved having both of them in my life, in fact, because somehow through each of them, I gained something. I gained a better grasp of how to live. I gained a better handle on how to love and care for my kids and my wife and other people. I learned things from each of them about self-respect, about working hard, about how to deal with my own sense of self and my own feelings and emotions. Both of them were great men. I lost my dad just several years ago. And there was a time when I really struggled in my grief in dealing with some of my dad's imperfect moments. And sometimes I struggled because I could see some of those imperfections in myself, I think. And it made it hard to work out my grief in some of those moments when I was dissatisfied with my own imperfection and some of that I had seen reflected in him. But one of the things that I've come to realize, and just recently I coined this little phrase, that we don't need perfection, we need connection. And that's absolutely true. I believe that we don't turn out as perfect people, but we are people that can build connection with one another nonetheless. And my dad did that. My dad absolutely loved us as kids and dedicated himself to our lives. And he loved Jesus. Once he gave his life to the Lord, I saw Jesus come alive in him and saw a love for other people and a love for God that was so deep and so profound that even though he was never perfect, and I don't know whether he ever had a perfect day in his life, my dad was not perfection, but he made that connection. He loved me unflinchingly, for all of his life. There are little comments that he wrote down. He was already old and kind of infirm in some ways in his thoughts. But he wrote these words. He said, "Hun," talking to my mom, "thanks for all the wonderful times together. There could never be another as good, loving and kind as you. Tell the children and grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren I love each very special and hope they will grow up knowing God as their Savior so we can meet in eternity. It has been wonderful to have them. Each is very special. Love, Blair." It's not perfection, it's connection that makes us whole. Make that connection with others. Make that connection with God. May God bless you today. And as you share this good news, may God make you a blessing wherever he takes you.